All right, big fella, we got.
I wanted to talk about continuing education.
Okay.
Do you guys do continuing education?
Yep.
What was that? What do you guys think? I know this is going to be a really dumb topic
No.
and quick.
No.
I feel it already.
You're talking to a guy that's got to do 36 hours over a 3-year period with a minimum of 6 hours. And of that 36 hours, 3 of it's got to be in ethics. So, no, go ahead.
What's your requirements?
I mean, I don't do it like what he did. I don't know. I just said.
Do you have any licenses?
Certificate? No licenses. No.
Well, but like for your certifications, do you have to upkeep a certain
Yeah.
educational amount?
Well, they try to. It's just a money thing, so I just retake the exam, stay current.
Really? So, what do you have a certification in?
Oh, I don't remember what the one's called. There's Lean Six Sigma Master black belt thing, and then there's
I know some of what he's talking about. This was the first one.
Sigma, like Skibbity Sigma?
Christ,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Skibbity Sigma. What do you mean?
kid talk, like the new jargon.
Oh,
Oh,
like the Rizzler, Skibbity,
no
Skibbity
clue
toilet,
who the Rizzler is.
Skibbity, Ohio.
Who's
Not
the
missing
Rizzler?
anything.
It's, yeah. You mean to tell me you've coached middle school baseball and you've never heard somebody say, what the Sigma?
No. You know how much I pay attention to what those kids say?
It shows.
Yeah. It probably does. There's probably some that feel like I don't, should pay more attention to them. But
CSMTPE, Certified Surface Mount
Easy,
Technology
Batman.
Process Engineer.
certified what?
Surface Mount Technology Process Engineer.
What does that mean?
Electronic stuff.
Like when you surface mount, like the quality control guy at the dildo
Yeah.
factory, like the surface mount ones. Like he's got to be able to retrofit them. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It works.
So we had to do some this week, but it wasn't really like because we had to. It's because that we got to.
Yeah.
Because in my line of work, just a regular blue collar laborer, anytime we get any cute, continuing education, it's kind of it's nice. It's kind of a break from the monotony.
Yeah.
We did chainsaw class this week.
Oh, boy.
We learned about chainsaws, some s'mores. But it's actually really cool. This is the third time I've been through the class. And it's a father and son unit out of they're from Michigan.
Oh, what part?
So they said that, okay, I'm gonna screw this up, but I think it's Hamilton County, so very, very, very far south Michigan. Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, they're like right in that
Oh,
where they could be the closest to all three,
Okay.
but they're in Michigan. So
Gotcha.
they're very far down.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
But he said that like the dad, the older guy, he's been in the tree business since like the late 50s, early 60s.
So he is an old timer.
Yeah, Vietnam. He's 80. He was 82, 81, 80, somewhere in there.
Vietnam vet.
Vietnam guy. Yeah. And then his son is probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say about 50, maybe somewhere in that ball game. But they had a tree business for years, doing storm stuff and just general tree service. And then they decided to go and, a lot of their videos is in conjunction with Purdue. And I think it's called LTAP or LTAP local. It's like a cooperative that Purdue does for the state of Indiana and all of the other things. But they basically just go to municipalities now and give these presentations.
So they actually physically came.
Oh yeah, they were in the building with their stuff.
Okay.
And it's very knowledgeable. Like a lot of shit that I mean, you know what I mean? Like you just, you got a chainsaw somewhere around here, I'm sure, and it's like you talk about, oh yeah, like if the bar gets pinched or whatever, we'll just da-da-da-da-da. Well, they literally like drop starting a chainsaw. Like, how do you start your chainsaw? You drop start it. I guarantee you drop start
I
it.
put my left hand on the little bar,
Mm-hmm.
right hand on the
And the rope.
rip
and then
cord, and I
yeah, that's called a drop start. 100% not what you're supposed to do. Did not know that. A lot of statistics.
So were you supposed to let go of it there?
No, sir. You're supposed to put the handle
On your foot.
between your legs.
what?
The handle.
And
the
you
handle.
yeah, like your throttle handle, it's supposed to go between your legs, and then your other handle's on the handlebar, so that your wrist can, the chain brake is supposed to be on, and then you reach with your right hand over the top of the power head to start it, because your natural movement would be move the bar away from you, like once it starts. It makes total freaking sense. How it works. And then like the arc, they call it like when you're 95% of the, what they say? Where are most chainsaw injuries at on your body?
Head.
Legs.
No. Left hand. You know why?
Because you're falling or something.
95% of the saws that are involved in accidents
Right-handed saw.
are one-handed chainsaws. And you know what? There's no such thing as
A one-handed.
a one-handed chainsaw. So like they call them like top-handled saws,
Yeah.
like or your limbing saws or your pruning saws. You grab the limb to cut, and then you got your one-handed saw that's not supposed to be used one-handed, and you cut the limb, and then the limb does something goofy, and then you cut your hand. That's
Now, where are you supposed to put the other hand on a one-handed saw?
it's not one-handed. There's a handlebar just like so they're top
It's
they're
small enough where you.
they're top-handled chainsaws is what they're called.
Gotcha.
So they got like instead of the handle being on the back of the power head, they're actually on the top of the power head, but they still have a handlebar with a chain brake just like everything else.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people just use them one-handed.
So like your little battery-powered unit.
Well, that's actually a pistol type. Yeah, they talked about those. Anything that's like sub 4-inch bar, like the little micro penis bar like I've got. They said that a lot of those municipalities now, like parks departments or the guys that are using them like for like they do a lot of mowing, they'll make like a scabbard on their mower for these little battery powered limbers.
I'd like to get
And then
one. I was thinking about one today. I was driving back through Duff on the way home, and there's this log bin washed up on the side of the creek there,
Yeah.
at the Witsit Creek there. And, I was like, man, I'm going to take that home and make a totem pole or carve a wolf.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you will.
And
I'll let
I
you
was like,
borrow it.
man, but I got that 26-inch bar farm boss, and I'm like, I need to get one of those little fellas.
You see Dave out there with a damn near 30-inch bar with a piece of driftwood out here. You know, 90% of those chainsaw carvers, they use like little 10-inch or 8-inch bars, and then if
It's on like a 290. Though.
when they use they do their finishing work, they use like grinders and stuff. Pretty cool. Justine
guys-
job shadowed one.
Those guys up there, French Lick.
Bear Hollow. Those dudes are the real deal.
Yeah.
One of the sons was in my class when I was teaching out there at VUJC.
That's
really?
cool.
That's cool. You are sitting at a table with a chainsaw accident survivor.
Yeah, I've been. That was one thing too. They did a show of hands, like, "Hey, has anybody ever been cut with a chainsaw?" And I raised my hand, but mine was I got my boot, but I never did get into the flesh.
Oh,
Yeah, I see it right there inside.
Those avocados on your socks.
I know.
Is that what those are?
Avocado.
Oh, they got my right leg.
Yeah, see, this is pretty important. He doesn't even know what leg it's on.
Right there.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep, that baby kicked back. I was a little bit tight on the spacing because it wasn't a good situation what we were doing. And we were working up in Lagodi. And I've handled a chainsaw, worked for the Parks Department. You know, Papa Frank had, taught us boys how to handle a saw. And we just got into something and it kicked back and got me. And I didn't even.
That was one of the big statistics is that most of the, like 98% are from kickbacks. What do they call them? Kickbacks, kick-ups, and pull-ins or something. Like it'll either kick back at you, it'll suck in on you, or the third one I can't remember. But those are the main causes of
Yeah.
chainsaw injuries.
So then I didn't think, like, I didn't feel any like immediate pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked down and I was like, shit, I cut my pants. And then I looked and I was like, oh shit, I'm bleeding. So I looked down and there's a gash in my leg.
Yep.
So the guy running equipment, I was like, he was like, oh shit, he freaked out. And then we had a guy that, not very bright.
You had
worked with
chaps
us.
on, didn't you?
No,
Yeah. That was
Not-
another big thing, too, they talked about.
not a real
Big chaps.
not a real bright guy. And so he forced me to, I was like, hey, I'll drive down to Memorial because that's the closest hospital from, no, we got to take you. I was like, no, it'll be all right. Like, it's no problem. This son of a bitch on 231 South probably averaged 85 miles an hour. He's like, hey, where's the hospital at? Just in case you pass out. I'm like, dude, I'm not passing out. Like, I'm fine. Slow the down. Oh, no, we got to get there. And I'm like, buddy, it's okay. Freaking chill. So we fly in and get in there. They clean it up, stitch it up. Boss calls me. He mother me from one way to the other. And then I was like, all right.
You dumbass.
I was like, okay, no big deal. Like, hey, I'll be back at work.
For like a non-degree holding guy like me,
Yeah.
like continuing education is definitely different than like what you guys would do. And I think that's what the point I was driving at is that I don't think a lot like, oh man, we got to go again. Oh,
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of times where I think like you can really benefit from it. Like, I think I'm a pro continuing education guy.
Well, I wouldn't say what you were doing would be continuing education. I would say what you were doing was continuing skills. Like, because you're learning about a certain skill. I guess it is education to a certain extent. You probably get a break on your insurance is why they do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's got to be something for it. But, yeah, we do. Ours is a little bit more extreme. Like I said, we get.
So at ART, we called it ART, Annual Refresher Training, which was an MSHA requirement at the mine.
Yeah.
I went to 14 of those. And a lot of that material was redundant, if you could imagine. You know what I mean? Like, is there a lot of redundancy in your continuing education?
On that kind, like on the refresher stuff, it is like it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun.
Do you ever do the ones where like they give you scenarios where like you're not in a you're not in a supervisional position, like you're just like a team player, and like Larry comes to work drunk and he's like trying to go to work, or and then like you, Bob, and Larry have to go on the crew to do this job, but Larry's like super hella f***ed up, and they would say like, what would you do in this situation? And like Larry just drives the forklift off the loading dock. Would you tell your supervisor that you thought that he was impaired? Would you tell your supervisor that you didn't think he was impaired? Like, like all these scenarios, and now like, yeah, get your drunk ass off the forklift, Larry. Let me drive. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn.
Little did they know you were just as Larry was. You were with Larry the night before. No, we through work, we have some of like what you're talking about. That's work specific.
Yeah, like job
Title 31, Bank Secrecy Act.
Yeah.
I think Cook makes us, or not Cook, the resort. We do OSHA training.
Yeah.
Prevention of sexual harassment.
And
then
those are usually just videos.
There is
about butt touching.
What's another one? Because we do like credit card. It's like an IT like
Phishing,
payment card information stuff. PCI training.
Skinners,
is what we call
not
it.
skinners. Scanners. Skimmers.
Yeah.
So skinners.
So we do a lot of the IT stuff. Like, hey, to your example, if you find a random thumb drive in the hallway, what should you do with it? Plug it into your computer. Call IT.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody else to plug into their computer. Like just stuff where you're like, but it happens. I mean, if you think about it, what's the first thing you do if you found a thumb drive? A lot of people be like, oh, I wonder what's on it.
I throw it away.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen with a thumb drive?
They could hack into your
depending
system
on what's on there. They can get, because then they're on the other side of the firewall.
like a Trojan horse. There's a whole IT side of this that is freaking scary. What people can
Like
do.
the cyber stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get like phishing emails?
Yeah, and we get phishing test emails all the damn time. And
Yeah.
probably about once a month because I'll report them all the time. I also
The pause there says otherwise.
I've also been known to report emails that I may not completely believe are phishing, but I
Damn it, Dave! It's me, Jim. I sit right across from you. It's not phishing. It's a freaking work email.
for a long time I was getting phishing email training past due emails, and I reported every last one of them as phishing. But yeah, I'd say probably once a month I'll personally, like one of them I report is one they got to follow up on, and then they send out a big email to be sure nobody else got it and click the link. And
Yeah. We do, they do what they call penetration testing too.
Oh boy.
Yep. Sounds just like it, where they're trying to find a way in past the firewall. But, because we take credit cards. So, like, it's a different ball game. And, like, the encryption of how, like, when some of those guys, like, nerd out about what it is, I'm like, I lost you when you said this becomes this and that becomes that. Then this goes all the way over there, and then this goes all the way over there. And you're like, I don't know what any of that means. And they're like, well, basically it's so randomized to what it is that they just wouldn't be able to find it. And it's like, oh, that's all you had to go with. Because it's like a token. Like, when you swipe, it's your credit card number. But on those systems, it becomes a token. And then your information gets separated from the card, from that token to that token, and then I don't know. How's the internet work, Dave? I don't know.
just does.
Yeah. So we do.
Wild.
Did they feed you at this training?
Donuts in the morning. It was just a 2.5, 3 hour class.
So
it
those
was
guys
morning.
came all the way down from Michigan for 3 hours?
Well, they had made several stops before and then on their way back. He said they'd leave out Sunday night or Monday morning, and then they'll try to be back Thursday night is what they do. So like they'll teach however far they can teach and then work their way back. So
then
schedule them all
That's
out.
all they do.
Yeah. Like I think their
So-
company's called Arborist Skills LLC or something.
That's where you find like I don't want to say a gimmick, but almost like a scheme that like about. You sell yourself
The
as a
niche is what you're looking
Yeah.
for.
Niche is probably less
Niche.
testy that way.
Niche.
Niche.